Good morning, hello, welcome. Are you able to hear my voice? Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you've made it to this surprise stream this morning. We're trying something a little bit new. I did talk a bit about this in our 2022. I keep saying 2020 instead of 2021 now. I don't know if I've reverted a year after the new year. But yeah, so in our 2022 account, I said I wanted to do, 3 pieces of content per month for sure, and then have some surprise stuff if I could. And I had a bit of time this morning, and I thought it would be a great time to do a bit of a surprise stream. In terms of our normal streams, which are planned and have a vote and, are usually known like half a week out, I probably will be doing that next week. So if you're watching this as a video after the fact and you're like, oh no, did I miss the stream? No, there should be another one next weekend that is more planned. The other benefit of this is that it's surprised, it's set by me, so I can choose some of the time slots that we don't always go and do. And I know, for instance, this time is better for some of our European friends and stuff like that. So hopefully we keep doing this, because I don't know, I enjoy it. And it's kind of more spontaneous, which is fun. With that in mind, and I always hate just directly asking for it, but if you could toss the stream a like, it does help the notification go out to more people so more people can come and see the surprise stream. We should be streaming for at least an hour this morning, but maybe it might be our full 90 minutes depending on how I feel. You'll also probably notice that my lovely voice is a little bit deeper and a little bit raspier. That's the morning stuff. I usually do my voice recording in the evening, like after I've talked throughout the day. So if it sounds a little bit differently than you might usually hear, that is why. I do have coffee beside me that should help with the situation. But it looks like we have a few people. We've got Northern Ulvenki, which, if I believe correctly, this is Razor Dragon's new account, but please confirm that I'm remembering. And if I'm not remembering, I'm sorry that I'm attributing that, but Branson's here, and he is, I believe he's one of our European friends, so it's great that we were able to do, or at least it's a different time zone. It's great that you're able to join. Yoroku, yay, you're here too. Good morning, everyone. Was just eating breakfast and got a surprise video announcement. Yeah, so I don't know, it's kind of a fun thing to do. Bojin says the time is perfect for Europe people, European people, which is great, and that was the hope. And it's actually not bad for me. I mean, it's like, what, 9:18 here, so it's a very manageable time. Originally, I was going to do it at like 8, and I woke up and I was like, nah, you don't want to deal with me at 8 on a Saturday. To be fair, if it was, you know, work, and I could make it happen, but... What's the plan for today, you might be asking? Well, we're going to be going to do some MSQ stuff. The other thing I'll mention is that I've adjusted the stream settings. So I did a few unlisted streams throughout the holidays to try and find some better stream settings. Hopefully I found some better stream settings that work. In our most recent stream, where we attacked the castle of Doma, we were having quite some issues with specifically the water textures. So hopefully the stream is just overall better quality. But I could have made things worse instead of better. So we'll deal with that as it comes. But yeah, let's speak to Tataru and start our journey. First to arrive, as always, hopefully the others will not be far behind.
Ah, there you are. All packed and ready to go?
Look at our lovely travelers. I'm so jealous of Alize's sword. It looks so nice. Yuriko says, look at all that water and not a drop frame in sight. No drop frame. Yes, that's the big thing we're watching. If you see drop frames, let me know. I don't know. I did a lot of tweaking with stuff. The big thing from my research I've done is I use a Radeon graphics card as opposed to a NVIDIA one, which is not as good at doing the streaming and stuff like that, as encoding. They have been getting better over time, and I've got one of the... Oh, I always forget it. But like a newer-ish model. And it runs games super well for the price, but it is that streaming stuff that it kind of drops off, which, being a content creator, maybe I should have looked more into, but you live, you learn, and hopefully we can make it work.
To the best of my knowledge, yes. Apologies for the wait. The task of tying up loose ends invariably takes longer than one allows. Happily, however, all now seems to be in order.
Perfect. It's kind of nice. I hope Alphino is more involved with the second portion of the story, because he's kind of just been locked away in this town the whole time. So we'll have to see. Look at all that. Could have been all the spell effects as well. Yeah. So we did adjust the spell effects, so that could be part of it. That there's a lot of spell effects in this game. I mean, they've got some flashy skills, so being able to tone some of that down is always good. Karamaram says, the stream, how exciting. Yes, we're doing a bit of a surprise stream for anyone jumping in a bit later. We should be doing a planned stream next weekend, so if you've missed this, don't worry. But I did want to toss in a few surprise streams at different times. That's just kind of one of my goals for 2022, so welcome.
Then there's nothing left to do but to board the ship. Do try and enjoy the journey, won't you? It may be your last chance to rest for a while.
Oh no, that seems a little bit not so great. Rest for a while. I mean, we're going to a zone of conflict.
That would depend on the good captain's choice of route.
Oh, are we gonna run into a dungeon on our way again?
As ever, Tataru, I pray you take all due precautions while making your inquiries. Better to avoid the local authorities altogether than risk a repeat of our Ishgardian episode.
And what sordid episode is this, pray tell?
Pray tell. What I like about this game a lot is that they reference their own expansions and past like journeys a lot more than I was, you know, directly compared to World of Warcraft. But World of Warcraft seems to really close off their expansions and focus and just talk on like what's happening in the now. And I think obviously one of the difficulties for them at this current stage is with how they've reworked the leveling system. You don't need to go through all the different past expansion stories, and because of that, they can't know that the characters or the players are going to know all the past. So it's one of those tricky things, and I do appreciate that Final Fantasy is able to do that and able to talk to, you know, characters knowing that they've been through all this. The difficulty with it, obviously, is that it's a lot of content to go through, which, you know, it's a lot of great content to go through, but some people are turned off by it. So it's a double-edged sword for sure. Northern says, so yeah, the big news this month is Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. I guess how could we not have talked about that? Yeah, so that is super interesting. And I think it's one of those rare deals where I would think that most people are happy. Like, you know, Microsoft obviously wants to acquire them and is happy. Blizzard's probably happy that they still got $70 billion or whatever for their situation. Certainly, like, you know, Bobby and stuff is probably happy that he's just able to make a move for Blizzard. And I'd say I think a lot of the employees at Blizzard probably see this as one of the best ways that change could actually come to them. So I think they're happy. I don't want to speak for them, but I would think so. And then a lot of the players of Blizzard games are actually really happy too. A lot of times buyouts is, you know, not great news, and it's still not great to have consolidation in the marketplace, but I don't know. I trust Microsoft at the wheel more than I trust Blizzard these days. So it'll be interesting to see what they do to a lot of the IPs. Obviously, World of Warcraft is in a rough spot, but even Overwatch has had a really rough couple of years too. So it'll be interesting to see if they can salvage that. Oh, a lot of people are talking about it. Always felt like WoW was its own contained story, each expansion. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel, Daniel. Iriko says, yeah, the Microsoft Activision Blizzard acquisition was a bombshell announcement. I think this will be a net positive. Yeah, I think it's going to be a net positive thing. I think it sounds overall very good for a lot of people. Kerman says, I found that very prohibitive when I tried Shadowlands. I made a new character and was shoved straight into the Battle of Azeroth with no explanation of what was happening. Yeah, it's very difficult because I do appreciate where they were coming from with it, like, because it was a ton of content to have to go through, and you often like did just like what, like a 10th of an expansion and then moved on, and it felt really bad that way because it was tied to your level as opposed to tied to completing the story. So maybe that they could go the Final Fantasy route and make you complete the story of an expansion, but there's not as clean of a story as there is in Final Fantasy. Not like, I mean, obviously in content, but also delivery. We have MSQ in Final Fantasy. We don't necessarily have MSQ in World of Warcraft, or at least not in the first few expansions. They have something called the War Campaign, which is more like that in the previous 3 expansions. Then when I hit 50, they just went from forget that to go to Shadowlands now. Yeah, it is weird. I had no idea what was going on. It's a very good point. Sonic Rose, hey Csaw, I don't really have time to talk, but I'm recommending upfront that you check out the Halloween event that's starting in Gridania. Yes, Halloween, due to setbacks, setbacks is late, but it's good. And maybe we will do that. I wanted to start with some MSQ, but maybe we will jump to some Halloween as well. But thank you, Sonic Rose, and have a good rest of your day if you have to hop off right away. All right. I got sidetracked.
Not to speak of, I assure you.
You there! Hold that ship!
Oh, that sounds like the Lord Yeah. That's who it sounds like.
What are you two doing here? Shouldn't you be in Doma?
And they're coming with us.
Shouldn't you? You left with nary a word. I half wondered if I had done something to offend.
Upon learning that you had departed for Kugane, we immediately resolved to give chase. Our comrades can manage affairs in our absence, and it seemed the least we could do.
This is so good. I love that Final Fantasy does this, that they build such a strong character unit for each of the expansions. Because I was sad to be leaving Lord Han and stuff like that. So it's so nice that they're going to come with us, or at least I hope so.
You mean you came all this way just to say goodbye?
Are they just saying goodbye?
That too, aye. But there was something else I felt I had.
Maybe they're
to
not
say.
coming with us. Maybe I got overly excited.
You helped us win our freedom, and for that I cannot thank you enough. Accordingly, after we have established an interim government and so forth, I think it only meet that we repay the favor by dispatching our own forces to Eorzea. If you would have us.
If you would have us. We definitely would have you.
We harbored no expectations of such generous aid, and as there is no telling when the Empire might strike back at you, would it not be wiser to concentrate your resources on the defense of Doma?
I mean, Alphinaud's always the logical one, isn't he? He's not just happy to have people come. He's like, what about this? What about
I had a
that?
mind to pursue a more aggressive defense, to which we will send forth shinobi to provinces far and wide to spread word of our victory, that we might inspire others to take up arms as we did.
I really like the dynamic between Hien and Alphinaud, because they're both leaders essentially, and they lead very differently. So it's been definitely one of those things that the game has put them beside each other to plan. Like we saw that with the Doma invasion, and now we're seeing it again with kind of a different thought on what the next step should be. So I think that's a really cool dynamic that they've built here. Whereas in the last episode of Alphinaud's life, with Estinian, we kind of had like more of a fatherly figure and stuff. So this is kind of a more equals but challenging each other. I think that was like a goose that just was really loud out my window. I don't know if you heard that, but we are in Canada, and and the geese are loud apparently in the morning. So there we go. And if you didn't hear it, I might just sound wild, but I was startled. Sonic Rose, welcome. Oh yeah, so welcome, have fun. If you're still streaming when I get off work, I'll see if I can hop on. Take care. It's probably not going to be a super long stream. It's probably going to be like, an hour or two, or regular 90 minutes, like one of those two. I don't think it's not going to be an all-day stream. That'd be cool to do though. I just have to prep, have some snacks and stuff, do the old, professional streamer eat and watch other people's content for a bit kind of thing. Get banned a few times, just normal stuff. Northern says, if I remember, the next trial is bliss of a fight. So a really cool fight. That's really cool. And is it coming up soon then? With you hinting so much about it. Iriko says, it is indeed quite blissful. Oh no.
Even the Empire has its
People are
limits.
excited to see something
If
happen
the
to me.
Garleans cannot be certain where and when the next rebellion will take place, how can they commit another force to Doma?
To Doma. No, I've really enjoyed kind of my plan of doing more of the MSQ stuff on stream, and then the last video seemed to be pretty well received, where we did a lot of we did some past content. We did Brave Fox's long stop, and we did it hard mode. So I'm looking at doing more of the content we've passed in different difficulties, which I think would be very fun. So very soon, yeah. Okay.
And besides, so long as this debt remains unpaid, how am I to face myself? And Gorsetsu.
Gagatsu. So sad. Yeah, if it is very soon and we do it on stream and you're in game, I'll definitely, give a couple seconds for people to whisper me, and we can you can hop in for sure. We'll just fill the rest with the duty finder, but yeah.
I will relay your offer to the
Always
Eorzean
happy.
Alliance.
Oh, speaking of which, I saw that there was actually news about the being able to visit other people's servers and stuff like that. Yes, I didn't read through all of it because I'm always overwhelmed when they released all that information. But I saw that there had been new dates and stuff like that. So is that project, and now I'm going to rely on chat, but is that project moving forward in 2022? It is soon, but I don't think you'll get to it this stream. Very wise, Yuriko. You know how slow I move on stream. You're managing expectations. And, you know, that might be for the best, because if it's not this stream, that means it'll be during next week's planned stream, which I'm sure a lot of people would like to see. Everyone likes to see me go at a new trial, so that might work for the best.
All of Doma is counting on you to finish what we have started. You have it in you, Lise. To seize the future you want. Never forget.
See, we've had more of the fatherly figure thing with Lise and Hissen. I don't know if it's exact, or Hien, Hissen, Hien. I don't know if it's exactly a fatherly figure, but more of a mentor-mentee kind of thing, or hero kind of thing. So it's been very inspiring that way. Irko says, yes, cross data center travel is happening in 6.1. That's super exciting. Yes, it will be opening with the next major patch, but only within physical data centers, so not cross region. Okay, so there's still a bit of stuff they need to do, but it'll be cool because if we could have more people join us, I'd love to do more of those alliance raids as you know, a stream activity. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I won't, Hien. Not your words or anything else. Everything that led us here, that will drive us forward, I'll carry it with me always. And that's a promise.
And that's a promise.
I will hold you to that.
I love his like deep belly laugh.
Go with them to Eorzea. Tell their people of our triumph and of our pledge to stand with them.
By your leave, I shall pave the way for our new alliance.
Oh wait, is Yugiri the only one who's coming with us?
Hurry up, you lot! The ship's about to weigh anchor.
I think
It seems our time is at an end.
Oh, they are staying behind,
Farewell,
eh?
my friends. And may we meet again beneath a western sky.
I'm gonna miss Hien, but I think the biggest loss here that I'm most scared to move on from Stormblood is the loss of Teteru's wonderful outfit. She looks like she's so happy in this outfit. Like she's really found her style, and I feel like she's gonna feel pressured to change, especially if she's hanging out in taverns in some of the newer areas. So I think that's gonna be the biggest loss of Stormblood. A lot of people might debate that point, but yeah. I think it's the surprising loss. Damn, look at that slow head turn. Wait, is she staying here? Okay, we're leaving Teteru here, so she doesn't have to change. But now I'm scared that we're not going to get Teteru back. I don't know if I can make it without her. She's the example of a Lalafell who has not betrayed me, so... Oh, meanwhile in the Royal Palace of Alamigo. Oh no, it's him. I like how casually they just said.
Knew that woman was unfit for command.
Oh.
Aye, when you think of all the resources we've poured into that hole, and for what?
Look at his stare. Just to stare off into the distance. Oh, damn. Just execution style.
Yet lives. Mayhap it is time I sharpen my claws.
Oh, I love him so much. And be honest with me, chat. Am I the only person who uses Mayhap in real life now and like freaks out their friends if they don't play Final Fantasy XIV? Like, I feel like it's the one piece of the Final Fantasy language that I use all the time instead of saying like you know, maybe or whatever. I often say mayhap, and let's just say Mrs. Csaw is like, what? And I'm like, oh. So that's a part of the Final Fantasy language that I've brought to real life. Let me just catch up. She's staying in Kugani for a bit so she can keep the kimono on. Oh, that's good. Don't worry about Tataru. She'll be fine. Okay, so both my concerns are put to rest.
Will you walk into my parlor once more?
Oh, right. I forgot about her.
Pedolorem Lupus, come at the command of the Lord Viceroy to present the prisoner taken by the Cranie Lupi.
Wow, she's got a good speaking voice. Very tough. Oh my god, is it Kryl? No. My other Lalafell friend.
Xenosier Galvus, I presume.
No, Alpha Note is gonna be just a mess. Get ready for Mopey Alphino. Oh no.
It's true what they say. You do have the eyes of a monster. A ravenous, insatiable fiend.
Oh my goodness. Don't get him mad, Kryl. We can't see you get it. He just executed someone. Yurko says, I totally use mayhap in real life and many other archaic words and phrases like needs be. Oh, that's a good one too. This game does things to your vocabulary. Fair. Terminus, welcome Terminus, says, at least it's only mayhap and you haven't started talking like Urianger. If I start talking like Urianger, first off, good for me, because I can't even read what Urianger says. But yeah, if then chat should hold an intervention at that point. If I start sounding like that in my videos, you let me know. It might be good for the algorithm, but probably not good for the rest of my my life. I could just see myself giving a work presentation and saying like, you know, something real odd. But yeah.
You, give the butcher your weapon.
The butcher. Caraman, giveth, there you go, it time, and we shall see Seesaw's equivalence. Oh no, reacheth such heights yet. Yep, we've already lost Caraman.
Yes, my lord.
Verily.
My lord.
Goodness.
This is...
A reward given in recognition of your service. I trust you will prove more capable than its former owner.
Oh, wow. She's got that. Wow. My voice is a little rough in the morning, I'll say.
I swear, I'll not disappoint you, my lord.
Good. Now, silence that mewling little piglet. I will not hear another sound pass her lips. Until I strip the fat from her.
Oh, God. What, is Kryl gonna get murdered in front of me right here? I can't deal with it. Okay, no, they're not gonna do it yet. They're just gonna hold it as a threat for me to know about. Alright. I think that was all of one cutscene, so as to everyone's point, we might not make it to the trial, but we'll see. I am slow. But this is what I love about doing it on you know, on stream, because we just get to chat about random stuff in between it, and it's so much fun. Alright, Lee says, back in Eorzea at last, ready to pick up where we left off and finish the fight? We're not who we were when we left. We're stronger and wiser. Well, we'll see about that. So let's do it. Let's get back to Alamigo and defend Xenos once and for all. Ooh. Can I wear any of these? No. I guess we'll just get some of these. Catch me if you can. There we go. Making progress. Oh yeah, we got some rings and stuff. Here we are, home at last. I must say, the journey passed more quickly than I had expected. That would be due to the absence of an otherworldly interference, I expect. Yeah, so we didn't run into a dungeon on the way, which is good. I should be glad if we did not speak of that unpleasantness again. We can laugh about it now. Ahem. But in spite of all that and more, we return better for the experience, and more importantly, triumphant. Indeed, and with Doma freed of imperial oppression, it is only right that we turn our thoughts to the plight of Alamigo. Well, I'm all for that, obviously, but I think you should go and see the refugees at Revenant's Toll before you do anything else. They'll be thrilled to hear what we've accomplished, and it'll sound best coming from you. Thank you. I shall do as you suggest. Northern says you're 6 quests away from the trial. If I remember correctly, the last plan stream where we did MSQ, we did like five quests, which at the end of it I was shocked to hear, but I feel like it's par for the course with me at this point for how slow I do this game. And I'm so bad at her name. Mirlweeb. It's been so long since I've spoken to you. I see I'm not too late. Admiral, what are you doing here? I'm just going to call her Admiral. The East Aldernan Trading Company informed me of your impending arrival. I have tidings I thought best to share with you in person. From Girabanya? Aye, the Alliance still holds the wall despite several Imperial counterattacks, but we have been unable to press further into occupied territory. Commander Kemp and his men, meanwhile, have made great strides towards rebuilding their depleted ranks. They have even taken it upon themselves to attempt some few operations with mixed results, I'm very sorry to say. 'Twas a complicated arising from one such venture which moved me to seek you out. During a mission to transport wounded resistance fighters to the Rising Stones, Kryl was taken prisoner. Okay, so this is where we're hearing about it. Kryl, yeah, like... Oh, Alpha, no, and I read you like a book. Kryl, do they know where she is being held? They do not, but your comrades were informed at once, and I am told Thancred is in Girabanya looking for her as we speak. Yeah, Thancred would be on top of that. How could this have happened? We must seek out Thancred without delay. Nay, Kryl taught me better than that. It would be unwise to act without first acquiring a full understanding of the situation. Yeah, so we're gonna have a conflict here. Well, I guess, yeah, I don't know. He wants to plan it out. Thank you for informing us. Tired though we may be, we must make haste to Castrum Oriens. Pray excuse us, Admiral, Lady Ugiri. Oh, just someone sweeping the floor. I like it. I just love how many people are just chilling in Limza all the time. Wow, this weapon looks really cool too. Just oogling. Alright, we can move on. I have to do a job quest at some point too. But we'll see. No, this has been a lovely start to the weekend, actually. I've kind of enjoyed the morning stream. Lol, that is my guild member sweeping. Nice, Zakuro. Well, you can see that they're doing their weekend chores then. Sweeping Limza. Oh, that was not the right quest I was gonna go to. I was gonna get lost in a completely unrelated situation. Hello, Thancred. There you are. You have heard the news. In broad strokes, from Admiral Blowfishwin. Blowfishwin? What happened? Kryle and a squadron of resistant fighters were escorting Y'shtola and several other wounded to the Rising Stones for further treatment when they were ambushed by Imperial forces. Arenvald and his men fought valiantly, but in the chaos... I will make no excuse, we failed to protect her. Do not be so hard on yourself. You protected Y'shtola and others, did you not? Tell us about the attack. It was the skulls. They knew the path across the wall we hadn't found. We thought we were safe once we reached the Black Shroud. Sigh. We weren't expecting an ambush. That's the thing about ambushes, you never expect them. During the fighting, I caught a glimpse of their leader's memories. It was all planned. The advantage of having a walker in the field. I'm not as strong in the Echo as Csaw is, of course. Half the time it's enough to knock me on my arse. I mean, it is for us as well. We hold our belly like a cute little tummy ache. Like I've taken a dose of concentrated ether. So you walked in Fordala's memories. What did you see? A woman promised the world education, training, citizenship, all that and more if she but sold her soul, a traitor to her people and pretender to her masters. It was Xenos himself that gave the order, told her to return with Kryle Bladestian alive. Our agents have been carefully monitoring Imperial communications since the attack, but have yet to intercept any transmissions making references to Kryle and her current whereabouts. If their orders were to bring Kryle back alive, we can save her if we move quickly enough. As you say, time is of the essence, which is why I intend to slip past enemy lines and see what information I can cover on my own. In the meantime, it is up to you and our allies to command the Imperial's undivided attention. Lots of shouting and explosions and so forth. Keep them distracted, and I will find her. Very well. I wish I could do more to aid you, but I understand. You know, Alphanode is keeping his head on with all this information, you know? I gotta give it to him. Commander Kemp is on his way to Castrum as we speak for a meeting with General Eldian. If you hurry, you can find him on the road and discuss the situation beforehand. I think Csaw and I are going to see Conrad like he suggested. You all wait here. And so we move on. You know, we're making a bit more time now. I think chat heard that there was a chance of us making it to a trial, and they're like, let's stop distracting him so he can just read through the quests. And this is where we are. That or everyone's having their Saturday morning breakfast and just like chill, which I also get. This is a MSQ and chill situation. I love my car still. So much. Zoom. Just run everybody over. Now we're friends. They understand. Well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? It fills my heart with joy to see you two hale and healthy. Welcome home, Lise. Csaw. I'm sure you've heard about Kryle by now. That's why we're here. I'm still not sure what to think about it, but we'll save her. We'll definitely save her somehow. I have no doubt you will. You look stronger for your time in the Far East. Far East last, sorry. The last was what was throwing me off. And that's good news for Kryle. I'd like to think so, but enough about me. How is everything with you and the Resistance? Better than when you last saw us, and no mistake, Arverlad's been a godsend. Him and Menago and all the other young bloods have achieved so much in such a short time. We've been blessed to receive the support of Flames Almegan Brigade, who've been, the names are what do it to me, who've been instrumental in freeing our countrymen from labor camps through Guibrania, as well as some political prisoners from the city proper, believe it or not. Together with refugees returning from Ul'dah and elsewhere, we've had no shortage of able-bodied men and women eager to join the cause. Zakuro says, it's a surprise stream, so I am not prepared since I just woke up. That's fair. That's fair. Just to spring a stream on you like this? How dare I, honestly. Honestly. But no, that's fair. It's actually interesting to see how people interact with it. What I thought curious is that when it went first live, there was actually a burst of people in the waiting for the stream, like more so than when it's the scheduled one. And that's because I think the notifications go out immediately, which is handy for this. But yeah, no, it's a good point, Zakuro. Some people might be like laying in bed and stuff like that too. I knew you wouldn't stop fighting even after what happened at the Reach. Force of habit, I suppose. Though you've come a long way, we still have far to go. But we'll fight for every ilm, and sooner or later, we'll get to El Amigo. Actually, that reminds me, Zakuro, you were having issues with your RAM last we spoke, I believe. Did you end up sorting out what was going on with your computer? But listen to me prattling on when we should be making haste to Castrum Oriens. There's no point telling me everything now when you only have to say it again when we get to the Flame General's benefit. You're right. I'll go ahead and tell the others that you're not far off. Yeah, my Discord went ping. Though that's good. That's awesome. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun trying to kind of change things up with how I interact and when I release things. Another big one being the premiere mode for the videos. Having less videos, I've been able to more intentionally be there for the premiere, and it's been really enjoyable to see A, how people feel about the video, but also what parts of video people really enjoy and engage with. So that's been a lot of fun for the last 2 videos that we've released, and I've really enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the 2022 outlook. The other thing that I'm excited for is obviously Guild Wars 2 is an expansion coming out that we'll probably stream a bit of as well, so that'll be kind of a fun thing. I don't often find things to stream in Guild Wars 2 because I'm a very casual player most of the time, but I definitely get wrapped up in it for a little bit during the expansion release, so I'm looking forward to doing some of that content too. Zakuro says, yep, had to buy a new stick, but that was a good excuse to go up to 32 gigabytes. My goodness, I love it. I've got 16. Once again, something I should maybe consider because, you know, rendering videos and, well, just working and editing and stuff like that can take up a fair bit, as well as how many Chrome tabs I sometimes have open, but that's awesome. I'm glad it's working. Brunson says the notification came just as I began making dinner, so it's a nice company while making food. That's awesome. I love that too. I often listen to audiobooks when I'm making dinner, or I mean sometimes I'll listen to a video too. I don't have YouTube Premium, which I believe is what you need to be able to listen to YouTube without, you know, when your phone goes dark or whatever, it kind of stops. But what I'll often do with YouTube is I'll Chromecast it to my my TV, and then I'll be able to watch it that way while I make dinner or something like that. If there is a video I'm wanting to watch or a stream or something like that, so that's kind of cool too. But I love audiobooks, so. Oh, Pippin! We're just seeing all the characters again. It's so interesting because we had this start to Stormblood that was in this world of so many different characters, and then it feels like we had another start to Stormblood in a different world with other characters. So it's kind of an interesting case that way. Yurko says, yeah, I've heard that premieres work really well for smaller channels. They generate a lot of engagement. Apparently for bigger channels, they have the opposite effect and will just kill a video immediately. I was concerned about that for sure. The algorithm just buries the video on larger channels. That was something I was concerned about, is that, you know, hey, is it going to impact it? The first video I did, which was the Guild Wars 2 one, actually did exceptionally well. And it's one of those videos that's positioned to do well. I mean, if I make a video, you know, how is X game doing in 2020, whatever, they typically do well. But I did the premiere there, and then it went on to be one of I mean, it was the top of my last 10 videos. That's how YouTube kind of presents you that data, with a really good view rate and stuff like that. The Final Fantasy video that we did, which was the hard mode of Long Stop, or yeah, Brave Flox's Long Stop, did incredibly well for engagement and view duration, but had a lower CTR. So I've been trying to massage, and to be fair, it's a new series, a new kind of title, new assets being used in the thumbnail. So trying to find a good way to bump up the CTR. But at the end of the day as well, there's less people interested in a specific dungeon's hard mode, as opposed to, you know, people talking about games and how they're doing. And so like people just watch those videos. And that's the 2022 balance, is finding the balance between those two types of videos, for sure. You've spoken of Thancred then. Good. Take heart. If you can track her down, it's him. I believe... Oh, someone can track it down as him. I was like, that's... Okay, there we go. I believe I hear Comrade Kemp's party approaching. If you are ready to go address Father and the others, let us be about it. We get a fancy ring. What does... Oh, CTR is click-through rate. I actually work in marketing, so CTR to me is like a super used abbreviation. So YouTube has impressions of your video. Like they'll go onto people's home page, they'll go into people's subscription feeds and stuff like that. And then the amount of people who click through the watch your video, that rate, that percentage is your click-through rate. So YouTube sees, you know, if it gives 1,000 impressions or whatever, and then only 5 people click through, the video is not as exciting. Whereas if, you know, 500 people click through, which would be like a click-through rate of 50%, which is crazy, it would be like, wow, this is a super exciting video. And that's based on thumbnail and title primarily. So that's kind of where that comes from. And then the second part of the equation is your watch time. So once someone clicks through, how long are they watching that video? If you have a really high click-through rate, but a really low watch time, that's where YouTube kind of senses, hey, this might be clickbait. Your video might not actually be what the title and thumbnail are suggesting. So that's a hard problem to have. However, from my personal experience, it's much harder to have a low click-through rate and a high watch time, because YouTube just doesn't seem to give the impressions to those videos, and you'll have, you know, a very small audience who's watched it for a long time. So it's a tricky thing to balance for sure. Oh, clicking all sorts of things. Ralger's Beacon. Oh, did I equip my... I'm gonna decline it. I don't think... Was my ring better is the first question. Yeah, it was. Nice. Little upgrade. There you are, and there is Commander Kemp, I see. I know you are eager to speak of our next move, but we would first hear more of your last tale. Tell us of your deeds in Doma. Okay, was that the quest? Oh no, okay, it's taking us into something. Hopefully a cutscene so I can drink my coffee with voice.
Pray, join me in
Yay.
welcoming our Scion allies, but recently returned from their mission to the Far East. We have been most eager to hear a first-hand account of your time there, eventful as we understand it was.
Very well. Allow me.
I like how this game shows that we kind of give what happened to people, but
such victories are rarely won without
skips it, right?
sacrifice.
Which is kind of nice.
But the prize is worth the price. Doma, free after all these years.
It's Mr. One Arm himself.
Bloody hells. Flooding their own castle for a better chance at victory. They could learn a thing or two from that lad.
That's true. That was a pretty cool move. I like how he actually like looks more tough now that he's lost that one arm, the other. It's just interesting.
Our agents report a flurry of communications between Garlemald and Alamigo in recent days. 'Tis plain they are in the midst of deliberating their response to the Doman uprising.
Good. Every Imperial unit in occupied territory will be on the lookout for civil unrest. The fear of leaving critical locations undefended will make commanders think twice about committing their forces, giving us a chance to seize the initiative.
Nice. Carmen says, yes, they've gotten quite good at only recapping for the player when it's appropriate. Yeah, there's a good balance here. And I think, like, the fact that they do it at all is kind of a really good storytelling thing, because I think a lot of games don't do it. And you're like, wait, how do you know all this? So I do appreciate that. But then we're not hearing it over and over again or something like that. Oh, we did our fist punch. Means we're tough.
The last one we're ever going to get. While we've done our best to rebuild the resistance, the Imperials have only increased their efforts to root out sympathizers. If we keep on playing for smaller prizes, it's only a matter of time before they crush us again. And that we won't come back from.
A swift advance seems best for all concerned. Not least poor Mistress Kryl.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting them to take Kryl.
Then let us waste no more time. The campaign for Alamegan liberation begins now.
Oh, I wonder if us rescuing Kryl is the trial. Is that, am I getting close to this? Is that going to be the mission?
Our first objective will be to capture Castellum Valadina. Take the bridge, and the whole of the fringes will be ours. From there, we can push east towards the peaks.
The peaks. I've just been chugging my coffee while I have this voice-acted cutscene.
I named this operation Rulga's Beacon. For as Rulga once sent his star to guide our ancestors to these lands, so too shall it see us home.
I like the inspiration here. These guys are tough. Yuriko, we shall see. Yeah, I'm thinking that's what it is. Caravan says, in case you needed more motivation, let's just kidnap it. Yeah, that's the surefire game developer way. Oh, what? Now we're not getting voice acting just like that? Northern says, yes, 4 to 3 quests left. You see? I told you. I was like, because what time is it even? We're almost an hour into the stream, so I think we'll be able to get like right to the trial, and then it'll be a great place to start for the next stream. And that way we can have, a few other, any Tiny Blue crew member that wasn't there can kind of join and all that, which will be nice. So, because that was kind of my concern for doing a surprise stream, is that, some people might miss out on the content and stuff like that. But I was like, hey, it's kind of fun. And there's always a VOD and, so let's start reading. The success of this operation is paramount. So long as the Empire holds Castrum Veldania, the main host cannot advance. Xenos knows this, which is why he has ordered Fordola and her men to see the bridge's defense. So we'll get the fight to Skulls again. The Butcher is not to be underestimated. She is decisive, ruthless, and feared by foes and friends alike. But we have a plan to defeat her. First, we send an alliance force down the main road, signaling our intentions to mount an all-on assault. The garrison will muster their forces and prepare a protracted battle. However, they will soon find that we are ill-prepared for their counterattack. Our men will begin to break ranks and flee. I see. Show them your backs and give them a target too tempting not to pursue. Oh, so we're gonna kind of fool them, hey? Fordola is too aggressive not to press the advantage. We'll order her men to give chase. We lure them as far as East End, where the commanders will rally their forces and attempt to hold their ground. If all goes well, God, the music is like, if all goes to plan, we should be able to keep the greater part of their garrison occupied, leaving us to tackle the bridge's remaining defenders. Very clever, I'm sure. But what are we to do with the Imperials if the Imperials smell a rat and return before we've taken the place. I don't need you to take Vendolnia Commander Camp. All I need is for you to fly your flag from its tower. You mean to trick them into believing that the bridge has fallen? A little smile, I love it. We convince them that Vendolian is lost, hit them hard with our reinforcements, and watch them go running for the hills. Then, when the dust is settled, we regroup at Castellum. What do you say? It's a bold plan, but a good one. We'll do it. In that case, we shall support both the Resistance and the Alliance forces. Csaw, Lys, Arvland, I ask that you accompany Commander Kemp. Elise and I will remain with the Flame General. We will return to Relga's Reach and make our preparations. As soon as they are complete, we will join you in the field. Godspeed. Zikro says, yeah, they are actually pretty long quests. I mean, yeah. And I'm also pretty slow at doing quests. Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. I feel like on some of my videos, I'll have someone who originally watched me in 2019 come and just be like, you're not at the end game yet? Like, there was one comment in the last video, it's like, you're still in Stormblood? I think people are shocked and impressed at this point. I mean, I've kind of impressed myself that I've been able to keep this pace. I feel like with a lot of games, the desire to be a part of the end game, doing the gear grind, doing the end game content overwhelms me so much that I rush through the story. This game's story has been good enough that I've not wanted to rush it in wanting to get there. And I do want to get to that in-game stuff, because my favorite videos are comparing a lot of systems and how games do their end game. So not being able to do that with this game, or not being able to fully speak to it because I haven't done it, has been a really challenging part of this, content creation journey for Final Fantasy XIV. All right, let's move to... Oh, where are we going? Rauger's... Wait, we're in Rauger's Reach. No, we don't need to do it. Even that would be, that would have been too much of a teleport for me, even. Ciceri says, hi, here's someone who watched you a year ago. Why are you still in Stormblood? Why am I still in Stormblood? Because I take my sweet time. No, number one, I only play Final Fantasy XIV when I am in the mood to play Final Fantasy XIV. But number two, I've just really, made the most out of the story, I feel. I don't know if that is the best answer, but I've never pushed through the story just to get to the next thing. I've always pushed, done the story because I'm excited to see the story, which I know a lot of other people are like that. I also play other MMOs, so that kind of tells you where some of my other time goes. Like, if I just played Final Fantasy XIV, I'm sure I'd be much more further ahead. Still a cute potato, though. Yep, we're keeping this for a while. I don't know when I'll change it, but I've really enjoyed the look. Iriko says, I always tell people the content isn't going anywhere. Don't feel like you need to rush to the end game to do it now. No, that's completely fair. I'm impressed that you haven't rushed at all. Many are still rushing and don't get the full journey. No, it's a very decided thing that I tried to commit to when I started, so we'll see if it goes all the way. I think we're now at a pace, though, where I should eventually meet the end. Whereas about a year ago, we were going at such a slow pace that I wasn't even catching up to the patches, and that was a little disheartening. Conrad says, in case you haven't noticed, the flag flying above Veldonia is bloody massive. It'd take a dozen men to change it, and far too long besides. But there's no need for all that, right, Menago? Not so long as I have my griffin and a satchel of glamour prisms, no. Arvelend, you were in charge of the runners between us and the Alliance. No link pearls. Lise, I want you to look in on the squadrons. Make sure they've got everything they need. Everybody clear? Aye, sir. All forces are to depart for Castellum Corvi when ready. That'll be all. Csaw, stay with me for a moment if you would. He's got some secret advice for us. There's a few men I'd like you to look into on personally. Each of them has lost people, and I can tell that it weighs on their hearts. There have been a lot of new faces since last you were here, so it's best if I just tell you where to look. One's an officer you'll find in the barber, another's an older fellow who likes to pass the time on the shore of Starfall. The last is a fiery young lad from Little Alamigo, who I'm told trains by himself by the river to the fringes. You'll know them when you see them, because they'll have an icon over their head. Come and find me when you've finished. Zakuro says, the story is the main attraction for a lot of players, so I am sure seeing your reaction to certain story beats will also be enjoyable, for sure. And I've definitely noticed that as well. Like, you know, when I get to the end of Heaven's Ward, viewership goes up, people want to see all that stuff and relive those moments. Like, there's a lot of my content is people who've done the content vicariously living their first experience through me. I'd say that's the biggest thing Final Fantasy content that I create offers. So it's kind of cool to do that, and I do enjoy that journey and sharing that kind of with them. Irko says, "Oh yes, you're completing story faster than it's coming out by a very wide margin. See, look at that. I'm gonna make it to the end eventually, unless I slow down again, which who knows." Yeah, so we've got a few people to talk to. I like how they always do this kind of before bigger battles, as they have you like be more grounded, right? Oh, Icepun, you're there as well. Look at you. Just chilling with your little Icepun pig. So cute. Where are we going? We need to go. I got all turned around. Kaplan says, /popcorn. Welcome to the stream, Kaplan, and also I love popcorn, so I really appreciate that. Popcorn, if there was one snack I could choose to have all the time, it would be popcorn, and there's a lot of reasons for it. Number one, the simplicity of it. Like, it's such a simple thing to make, and it stores so well as kernels, and then you pop it into the corn itself, which is lovely. You can have just like a basic kind of like, you could have plain popcorn, but I rarely do that. I'll have a bit of salt on it. But you can zazz it up then. You can add some different seasonings. Like, it's such a versatile snack. I mean, I don't know if anyone else sits there wondering what snack they would like bring to a desert island or like only be able to have, but popcorn has been my choice. Wait, I know you. Corporal TBG of the Maelstrom. It is an honor to meet you. I was living hand to mouth in Ul'dah, but decided to enlist in the flames after I heard tales of your deferring. Hey, I just heard a little jingle. Zakuro joined the Tiny Blue Crew. Hey Zakuro, thanks for rejoining. I forgot I had the notifications on. Welcome to the Tiny Blue Crew. Again, Zakuro, you've obviously been a member for quite some time. And also for any members who are here, I fully get it, you know, having to dip out of it or coming back to it, you know, depending on it. Also depending on the content I'm putting out for that month, but it's always nice. And I appreciate everyone who supports the channel like that. It definitely is, it's become even more noticeable as my views have kind of been in a decline, having that stable amount of people just supporting like that. So welcome back, Zakuro. And now, as fate would have it, I've been sent here to join the fight for my homeland's liberation. But this is no time to talk. I've got to prepare for the operation. Take care, Corporal. We'll give those Imperial Horsons. Ooh, what for? Carmen says, I completed Endwalker and then immediately followed a stream through it. It's very much a thing to have people reliving their journey through others. Yeah, and I do that with other games too. A big one for me... what's a big one for me? I like to watch... I'd say Guild Wars 2. My voice is getting raspy, 1 second. Like Guild Wars 2... I've completed the story pretty early on, and there's a lot of new people who've never played Guild Wars 2. So watching them go through certain encounters is a lot of fun to kind of see. Hey, Branson has joined the Tiny Blue crew. Look at this. Look at this morning kind of party we're having here. I love it. So it's great. And yeah, this is awesome. Thanks for joining again. Like I say, it's a great support to have for sure. So welcome, Branson. I believe, and I don't want to be misspeaking, but you might have been a member who's rejoining too, but I don't have that information right in front of me. Zukuro's logo is just very memorable. But I believe, yeah, Branson, I remember your name too. Either way, support is just such a nice thing. And this community we have, like this little tight-knit thing, like this is why I love streams too, is like it's a bunch of really... people that I've interacted with a lot on the channel who come to these frequently, so it's really nice. Yuriko says, Doritos. Doritos are the snack I would bring to a desert island. Doritos are great. There are a few flavors that I like love, and there are a few flavors that I'm like, about. My biggest thing of Doritos is that they get my hands dirty. So I don't love that. I also find they're so flavorful that after like 10 of the chips, I kind of want to take a break so that the flavors like that wow factor again. They're very good if I'm, if I have a sandwich or something and then I have some Doritos on the side. I love that because then each chip is like wow in contrast to the sandwich. That's when I'll eat Doritos. But it's a good choice. Branson, nope, I'm a newer member, long time watcher. Oh, that's so great. Well, thank you. I didn't want to like I was in a complicated situation where I didn't want to forget someone who had been a member, and but yeah, no, thank you for joining. That's so awesome. Actually, I guess I can see from your icon, which I can see. I have my chat thing on the side of my screen, but it takes a second to update in comparison to the notification sound. So I can see your little logo is actually kind of like the first version, which is a lower opacity with the regular headset. So that's great. I'm so happy to have you here, Branson. Thank you for joining. Carmen says, eat them with chopsticks to keep your hands clean. That's a great piece of advice, Carmen. But that should be a stream in itself, watching me try to eat things with chopsticks. I traveled to Japan a while ago now, probably like in 2018, maybe even before that. But one of the tips that they give us Westerners is to practice eating, with chopsticks, to eat like chips and stuff like that. And I did do that, but I'm atrocious. My chopstick skills peaked in preparation for that trip, and I have not kept up with them. But they're such a handy utensil as well, because of things like that. So that's a really good point. Carmen says, oh yeah, so eat them with chopsticks. Kaplan says, or put them on the sandwich. Ooh, there's an idea. I do enjoy that, but I enjoyed more of a regular chip on a sandwich because it's just that crunch factor I want with elevating the sandwich flavors itself. Whereas I feel like, depending on the condiments on the sandwich, the Doritos might be too in conflict with it. But if you develop the sandwich from the start with that vision, I guess you can be good there. Zirko says... that is what I do with Cheetos. You use chopsticks or you put them on sandwiches? I feel like the chopsticks, but that's another good chip, or I guess it's, snack that it gets your hands dirty. So the chopsticks is a good idea for sure. Swarthy resistance fighter. I say, if it isn't the lad who helped me when find the ward I misplaced. But there I go again, treating you all as equal. It wasn't till after you'd gone that one of my comrades pulled me aside and told me it was only the bleeding hero of yours who had taken the time out of his busy day to help me. feel like Eorzea is one of the things I like pronounce the worst, which is so unfortunate because it's like, you know, pretty critical to Final Fantasy XIV. Oh, we're just gonna bunch of buffs. Look at this. Well, that is done. What is done, but know that I will fight with every ounce of my strength in this coming battle, and the next, mayhap that will serve to repay the favor. Fare you well. They see us rolling. Look at this thing. I don't know if I've seen this mount before. It's like an elephant? I've seen a lot of like interesting mounts for sure, but I don't know if I've seen that one. Oh, down by the river. Csaw, am I right? I doubt you remember me, but I'll never forget you. Saved my life in Little Alamingo, you did. While Red and the rest of us had got into our heads that if we had enough crystals, we could summon Ralgr like the Amanji summoned their god. Thankfully, you put a stop to it. Ever hear about what happened to Wilred? Joined the Braves when they came calling, only to turn up dead one day. Never found out how or why, but I reckon it doesn't matter. He's dead after all. But at least he died doing what he thought was right, and maybe that's the best folks like us can hope for, eh? Not that I'm in any hurry, mind. It's an interesting point of view. Seems like a very hardened youth to have that mentality. They see us hopping. Northern says, the abilities with the red stripe on them, you can just remove them. Yes, from the hopper, they're no longer... That's a good reminder. People keep telling me that in my videos, too. They're like, this fool has no idea what's going on. Remove your hot... But no, I appreciate everyone letting me know that I should do that. I keep saying that I'm going to have a good hard look at my my action bar and remove it here. You know what? Let's just do it now. This one... Oops. What else has a... Is this a red bar or is this just part of the skill? No, this is a red bar, right? Yeah. There we go. Is that... I think that's all of them. Lovely. Kerman says, if you don't remember, Wilred was the young chap in the Crystal Braves who was killed by Ilbrid for getting too close to realizing what was going on before he betrayed. Oh, you're right. That's from a while ago. Huh. Thank you, Karaman. That's a good little tip because I didn't make that connection right away. You've had a word with the men I mentioned then? Ah, as I'm sure you've noticed, they've another thing in common aside the tragedy. You've taught each of them their lives in one way or another. But that's not the reason I wanted you to speak with them. A man who's lived in Giribania his entire life, who bore witness to the realities of the occupation for 20 unbroken years. A man who fled Alamigo in search of a new life, who swore to serve another nation, only for fate to conspire to send him back here. A youth born on foreign soil who never knew his parents' homeland, yet nevertheless felt kinship with our cause. 3 men, 3 stories, 3 reasons, yet all belong to the resistance. In growing larger, we've grown more diverse, and while there's a good in that, there's also potential for strife and discord. I take a special sort of lead it take a special sort to lead such men to Alamigo, don't you think? Leader of the Resistente. I don't have enough titles already. I'd say like Lise is a pretty good point. I see you're of one mind. She'll have to make the decision for herself, of course. You've traveled with her, been by her side when she's had to make hard choices. You've seen her at her worst and at her best. If you think she's got it in her, then she does. Look after her, Csaw. She's our future and my hope. I trust I needn't say that this conversation is just between you and me. Good lad, right then. We'd best head off to Castellum Corvi, or what remains of it, rather. Carmen says, deep callbacks. Ranson, hey, those old unused skills have some collector's value now. It's good. The Crystal Braze, if only we could tell that to Elfinode's parents. You sure? Alrighty. Where are we off to? This looks like it's a bit quicker. And it's about just about 10:27, so probably we'll do this quest and then call it at that point. Because that'll bring us to about 10:45 my time, which is about 90 minutes from when I started. Which I was kind of thinking, whenever I start a stream, I'm like, we'll see how long it is, but I always get into it and go for 90 minutes. The exception being when we're about to finish an expansion, then I go for even longer sometimes. I don't know if this was the quicker way or not. Man, I definitely need to collect more of those ether winds here, because I am slow. Like, not to mention I can't even fly, but I am slow. Oh no! Big tree monster! Oh, look at this bear. My goodness. There's a few bears around here. Like Bear City. Oh, it's Icebund. I was like, look at this cloud in the distance. I didn't see your character at start. That's so funny. It's like watching over me like my guardian angel throughout this. You can just see the cloud and the shadows. It's so funny. Kaplan says, oops, I didn't hear a thing. Promise. Yukro says you missed one deleted action. Second hotbar from the top. 7th slot. Okay. So, oh, right here. Right here. There you go. Now we can all be happy that Csaw doesn't have outdated actions on his action bar. Cameron says, yep, no deaths today. Oh, so you're going to swoop in when I'm going to die from a pack of grizzlies, eh? I like that. Conrad. We'll lead the way while the other units launch their own separate attacks. Remember that we need to hold out until Minago sees the flag. Got your gear in order? Any moment now. Alright, we'll proceed with this. And then we'll call it, because I am starving. I should have eaten before this, but I was like, coffee's all I need, right? But now we've been talking about snacks and stuff too. Like, it's a mess.
It's begun then.
Oh, was quite the
Good.
the ride.
It's the waiting that drives me mad. Standing around, knowing what's to come. I'll never get used to it.
Calm down, Nargo. You're making her nervous.
We've come this far, haven't we? We just need to make it the rest of the way.
That's the only thing we need to do.
Right.
Oh. Got some action. The thumbs up as their signal. I love it.
Looks like the bastards went for the bait. The bridge is ours for the taking.
Lovely.
Now remember, Minago, I want you to make for the tower as soon as you see an opening and get that flag flying. We'll see to the fighting.
I won't let you down, sir.
Nice.
Come then. Rolga's star shall burn bright this day.
I just love how much we nod in this game. It's like our universal, like, let's do it signal. This is pretty cool. I like how much plan and thought they put into, like, their attack. Wow, that snake person was wild. I don't know if they prefer being called a snake person, but... What is this? What kind of creature is this? Have I met this thing before? Huh. Look at that. Alright, let's slice and dice.
Here it comes!
Wait. Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm not doing my combo, that's why. I'm just blasting random skill. There we go. I've been playing too much other classes. I've fallen off as a samurai. Kerman says, I love this plan so much, it's inspired. Yuriko says, Csaw, Warrior of Light, professional nodder. That's like such the case in this game. Northern says, that's a Lamia? Half person, half snake. Okay, so snake person's maybe not as offensive as I think it is to call them that, or might they still find that offensive? There were a couple around Relva's Reach. They're one of the beast tribes, and they live in the zone. Oh, okay, so they are new to Stormblood. Like, it's not like I should have seen these along my journey. Zakuro says, I will say you should add a second wind and bloodbath from your roll skills for some self-healing. Oh, is there new? There probably is. When skills get removed, skills probably get added. Is there... This is going to sound like such a noob question, but when looking through my action rules and like skills and all that, is there anything that highlights skills that I don't have on bar, or do I have to actively look at my bar and try and like figure out what I do and don't have? Which obviously can be done, but just out of curiosity. Oh god. I definitely stood, yeah, I stood in a bit there. Okay, let's keep a little bit. Oh wow. Alright, we gotta kill some things. I think Zakuro was telling me about the self-healing at a very specific time for very specific reasons as I move forward into this fight. I don't know if I should like just be like AoE blasting the whole time, or if I should be more like dedicated to specific targets, but we're making things happen. Kaplan says there is not. Okay, so we'll do that off stream because it's going to be very disappointing to a lot of people how little I know about what the skill icon looks like for certain skills and how my bar is set up. I like to keep some things secret. No issue being a noob, but some of it I like to keep to myself. Just like how infrequently I'll open my inventory on stream because I know how bad it is. So, no second wind bloodbath are not new. They've been in the game since ARR and Shells. Oh no. Think you're clever. But when I earn new skills, don't they just come onto my bar? Or am I like way out of loop with how this happens in this game? Think again. None of you are leaving alive. Oh no, she's coming for us. Second wind and bloodbath are both under your roll action, which are shared by all jobs on the melee roll. Oh, I'm really bad at those ones, like the ones that are shared. I will confess to that. It's the same one with that, like, a healing one that's kind of like a D-spell or whatever. Like, I was very confused how it was shared by everyone for, I don't know. Come back. These are really cool. I don't know if I should, like, get close to them, though. Oh yeah, they're gonna have an energy beam that goes out of them. I'm like, what is this? Oh, I should have put my, my dot up. Let's do that, and then we'll use some of our energy. Here we go. I mean, we're alive, right? Like, we're making this happen. Are these things I can kill, or what are... Oh, these are just gonna, like, hurt me. Of course they're gonna hurt me. Got a lot of, like, AoE things to stand out of. Let's go. Cameron says, if you want one of us to give you ability, tactics, advice between streams, just shout out on... I should do that on Discord. I could do that too. I feel like if I sit down and give myself the time to look at the skills, though, I'll also figure it out. I find it's just... when I come on to Final Fantasy XIV, I'm like, let's go do, you know, the dungeon, let's go do the MSQ. I'm like, I don't got time to look through I feel that's the way I do things in every game, though, so. I think a lot of other games, there's maybe just more handhold. For instance, WoW has the system where if it's not on your action bar, and it should be, it'll glow in your book, which, you know, for all of WoW's problems, it's not a bad thing. Oh, he's doing, oh, I just... Okay, let's avoid that. We can put a dot on it again. That would be good. Surprise. This is going to be like a wild amount of dodging in a second here, isn't it? Oh, wow. This is where I'm going to either die or live.
Cut you to pieces!
Let's, which I mean sounds like a very obvious statement, but it's certainly true here. Blue. Alright, I think we've got this all wrapped up. Is it weird that I kind of feel bad for, oh, what if I stand in this? I was gonna say I feel bad for Dola, then I almost stood right in that AoE. Hey, there we go. Didn't even need the self-healing, look at that. Maybe I'm just so good at Samurai that I don't need those skills. I feel like I probably did. Cameron says, reading through your tooltips is absolutely the best way to learn for yourself. It is, I know.
God damn you!
Wow, she is angry.
No more running! No more hiding! Let's finish this!
Oh. Is the plan not going according to the plan?
The flag!
Oh no, the plan is going according to plan. That's a big flag. So did they, like, glamour it? Is that what she meant when she was going to bring those crystals? Like, is that how they did it? Oh my god, I would freak out if I was standing just up on there.
The bridge is ours! Al amigo! Al amigo! Al amigo!
Al amigo!
Yeah!
Look at them run. The plan is playing out.
Stand your ground! It's not over yet!
Damn it!
Why does she have smoke bombs? Smoke bomb escape.
We've done what we came here to do. That's enough for now.
No, that's cool. Fredola is such a great character. Very true. Zakuro, yep. Illusion to make it seem like they lost the bridge. That's super cool that they're using like the transmog system of the game, which I hate that I'm using a WoW term to describe it, but that they're bringing it into the lore of the game. Like that's you know, that they're bringing glamour into the game. Because a lot of games just have it as a system that's like unrelated to how the game works in a lot of ways. Kaplan says, do you not have smoke bombs? Should I have smoke bombs? Is that, I mean, God, he looks so badass. Because she's awesome. Yep. That should be how the fast travel system works. Instead of, you know, the animation they currently have, like when you're teleporting to an ether crystal, you should just smoke bomb and disappear to it. That would be interesting.
We have them on the run! Forward! No mercy!
Well, the plan seems to be working on all cylinders.
We have to regroup! All units, fall back!
Oh. Something happening? Or is he just happy? I love his helmet.
Commander, the 4th cohort has been routed. We'll be at the mercy of the enemy's reinforcements if we don't fall back now.
Don't fall back now. Yuriko says, so Ninja's Tsukuchi ability belong. Oh, I haven't played Ninja, so I don't know. Do they have a smoke bomb?
Idiot!
I mean, it would make sense, maybe.
By far. Don't be taken in by their tricks. Or would you rather tell Xenos you lost to this rabble?
Wow, she is tough.
But if the snakes betray us in the confusion, we'll have no way out. I'm begging you, Commander. Give the order, or we'll all die here.
This mask is just wild.
As common traitors who drank of muddied waters. For all the good it did us.
School's with me! The day is theirs, and so is this bastard bridge. Someone bring the snake.
Someone bring the snake.
I suppose. It's our first victory, isn't it? And that has to be worth something.
I mean, it's a victory. We've had other victories throughout the expansion, but yeah, I guess for this like team. Shukuchi is Ninja's movement ability. You pop a smoke bomb and reappear somewhere else. Oh, that's super cool, actually. I want to try that. Oh, Patrick. Hi, welcome to the surprise stream. How are you doing today, Patrick? Carmen says, hey, that bridge's parents were married? You're gonna have to explain that one to me, Carmen. Flew over my head. Patrick says, way off topic, but Sisa, any thoughts in the XIV stat squish? Good, bad, sorts forgot about it. I will give you that I don't know about it as much as others might who are, you know, more max level, but I am a big fan of stat squishes in all games I played. One of the main reasons, well, okay, so let's break it down even further. I think damage numbers are vital to MMOs. For instance, I don't know if anyone's tried Black Desert, but the number one reason I can't play Black Desert is because you can't see your damage numbers. It just bothers me. I really enjoy my character powering up through vertical progression, and seeing those damage numbers is very important. Whenever damage numbers become too big, however, I feel like the value I feel of the growth is diminished. I can think of many situations where seeing a smaller number go, you know, from like 20s to 50s, 100s to 1000s feel much more important than when you start to get into the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, because at that point my brain just doesn't comprehend it as quickly, you know, the damage scale. So I, you know, and I don't even know if the stat squish is impacting like damage numbers like that, but that's one of my thoughts, that I think does really benefit games when they do the stat squish. I think it's hard at the start because, you know, you're seeing the damage numbers go down for the first time maybe ever, if it's the first stat squish, and that can feel kind of weird, but I do think it is important, especially for games that are long-standing, have vertical progression. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I don't know if that is on topic, or if that is even what the stat squish is changing, because like I say, I'm not as knowledgeable on that. Northern says tactical nuke incoming. Okay, I'm interested to see what happens when I click next. Fordolas called the bridge a bastard, which technically means she's saying it's illegitimate. Your parents are unmarried. There you go. I see it. I put it. Well, I mean, you put it together for me, but I see the joke. Well crafted, Caraman. Zekro says, I actually don't even feel the stat squish really since the enemy's stats went down. So has it already been implemented? Is that... Yeah, because if it has, I haven't noticed it, which means that's perfect. Like, it doesn't feel different. But I've never been, you know, I think at end games where I'd really start to pay attention to my damage, right? And like damage numbers. So that's probably why it's impacted me less, Patrick. But a really good question. And I'm excited to see others in the chat's kind of thoughts on that. Kerman says, I like... Oh, okay, so Irko says, yeah, I really haven't even noticed the stat squish. Like, sure, I can compare the damage values before and after and see that they went down, but it doesn't feel like anything changed in gameplay. Yeah, which is exactly what you want, right? Kerman says, I like the squish. It makes sense to do every so often. It doesn't mean that I have no idea whether my damage is good or not, but I'll get used to it. Yeah, it was at the end of Walker Launch, so it's already put it. So yeah, I didn't notice it at all. So there you go. Imperial says there are some slight influences on things, but it's hardly noticeable. Yeah, so that's perfect. Yeah, I think we'll pause gameplay here. I'll probably stay on for another, 5 minutes. We'll just chat if there's any conversations to wrap up. But I think this is where we will finish the stream for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this surprise stream. I know, like, there's the risk of people not being there for it because it's a surprise, but I think it's just kind of a fun thing to do, and it allows us to do these different times, which I will say I've seen other people who haven't been able to be as active in the chat in this one, which is great. So I hope you've enjoyed the stream. We'll likely do a stream next weekend as well, which will be our planned stream for January. I know it's the last month of January, or week of January, so I said I was going to try and avoid that, but here we are. But yeah, so going forward, we plan to have at least one planned stream with more upfront notice every month. As many of these bonus streams as I can add, and then videos as well. The ideal, if you didn't watch the 2022 content strategy video, is to have at least 3 pieces of content go out in a month, but likely do more. But that's the plan. The videos, and I don't know if you've watched the 2 that I've done, the Guild Wars 2 one and the... I keep forgetting what to call this one, but like essentially the running hard content in Final Fantasy XIV, or different content that I've kind of skipped. Both of those were more time consuming in their editing and the amount of footage I captured and edited for them. And I feel like it came through in the video that it was a bit more quality than some of my other ones, which would be just, recording myself react to the MSQ and stuff. Terminus says, I know a lot of people were worried about the squish making old content harder but to do unsynced, but they added buffs to unsynced content, so it's a bit easier now. Oh, that's funny. Zakiro says, bird captured. Have a nice Saturday. Yes, you have a nice Saturday as well, Zakiro. Patrick says, surprise, Csaw. That's a good surprise. Well, I'm happy that you enjoyed the surprise, Patrick. Northern says, next week, Lady of the Bliss. Yes, Lady of the Bliss will be good to do next week. I don't know if I'll do like a sign up sheet right away, or if it'll just be if there's any members that are kind of watching, if we'll do it, since it's not the thing, or maybe I'll progress the story. I don't know. I'll decide what I do. But certainly if there is a trial and there are some Tiny Bleak crew members on, we'll try and get you into it as well. So excited for that. Plus everyone can just watch me hopefully succeed in a new trial, but I'm always excited to see go into a trial blind. It's really fun. So Terminus says, surprise stream was fun. Cool to see when I was expecting a regular video. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it too. So that was kind of the other reason to do it at this timeline. I'm like, it's kind of in line with when I launch videos. I know one of the big changes for January has been that there are some Saturdays that don't have videos. That is inherently a strategy change in 2022. I'm not going to sacrifice quality of a video just to release one every Saturday. So that's kind of the, if you had to TLDR it, that's kind of a you know, the scope of 2022. But yeah, hopefully everyone enjoyed the stream. Look forward to the next one as always, and have a great rest of your weekend. I'll talk to you all later. Thanks for watching.